Okay, we're going to talk about downloading Newswatch and 700 Club. Remember the first four here, you see that little window, always are open. So if any of these first four are closed, we need to click on them to reopen. This one is what's currently over the air for today. This one is the future logs that you create, and also where you check files. So I hit files up there. We're going to check a file. This one is controlling the hardware, and this one is recording. So you just minimize, never X out on this computer. Just minimize, minimize. If you do X out, just make sure the first four are started, but not dual started. In other words, there'd be two windows here. We wouldn't want that because you double clicked or whatever. These others are just stuff I'm using to create this video right now. So I'm going to go with this being shut off, but this is the FTP program FileZilla, which is where we get all of our files. Our job is to reach out to the Christian Broadcasting Network and download a show from them onto our local computer. So we do that with this program, FileZilla. And we never update it, so you just hit close. So we go up here on the drop-down menu. These are CTN. You see the different companies, different computers out there and through the internet, but we want CBN. So the status is always displayed up here, connecting. So it takes some time. Okay, our computer is on the left. That's us. You're looking into the hard drive locally. Their computer's on the right, so we want CBN News Channel. If you'll notice, I've already downloaded 7, and our stuff shows up on top as long as last modified is selected to show it on top. I've already downloaded 700 Club and Newswatch. So and the one we use, if you see here, is, you can also look at it, is the 720p, which is widescreen. It will play any of these except for the PAL, but the one that's quickest to download and looks great is the 720. This is the MPEG, which is a bigger version of that. This is the SD version of the 700 Club, and this is a 1080 version. See, it's a little bit bigger, but we really don't notice any difference. But for this case, I'm going to download the 1080 because if I would download the 720, it would overwrite here. Understand, I've already got today done. I'm just picking this one so the download would work. So here our download is going on. Okay. And so it's going to take a minute. And then on Newswatch, I'm going to download the 1080 just because I've already downloaded Newswatch. Well, why these downloads are, remember we never X out, why these downloads are going on, I am going to simulate what you do after those downloads are done, until they're done. So over here was where you work on future playlists and you also check files. So we want to check Newswatch for today. So it's always an asterisk at the end of this. So you go the first four letters, CBNN, and if you notice, if I hit that, it shows various Newswatch shows. And you can also hear last updated is helpful to look at, the last show that was put in, like the 25th. So just to check that it's there, I drag it and throw it up there. You hold it down.
Thank you so much for joining us for CBN Newswatch MF.
And if you notice the duration, 28-29, if it's within a second or two, it's right. That 28 is 30 frames a second, so it's not even 1 second shy there. It's just 2 frames shy, but it's the 28 minutes and 29 seconds. So yeah, that shows good. So what we then do is go to today's schedule, and you'll notice this is at Newswatch, comes on at 11:30. Normally this will say a filler show like CBN Healthy Living, But if I do CBNN, I'm saying Newswatch. So let's throw an old one in there just to illustrate this. So I go up and drop it right on Newswatch. I delete the old one. Then I right click and hit refresh to update my times that I see, not the unit. So this shows us that new watch number 417 is coming on 11:30. This whole screen is today. So if you see any red lines in today, they need to be fixed. It means the show is missing, it's been deleted or whatever. But we put the wrong Newswatch in there, so let's do that again. Search, let's look for today's, which is the 25th. So I put today, drop it right on top of it, and I delete that wrong one, and then I hit refresh. The same thing is going on with the 700 Club. I've already got the 700 Club loaded for today. Now let's go back to our download screen just to see where it's at. We're not going to use these files because I download the 720p. I'm just downloading them to illustrate what's happening here. But when that one's done, it will show up on the top. So let's go back to our other screen to illustrate how to schedule Newswatch. Or no, in this case 700 Club. So we go 700 and then we hit enter. It's always hitting enter here. You've got to have that asterisk to the right. And it will show you available 700 evergreens or shows that never end. You'll see that new one we're downloading. It shows it here, but it's not done yet. But here's evergreens, and here's like yesterday's Newswatch, today's Newswatch. 700 Club. I don't know why I'm saying Newswatch. 700 Club. And then you'll know that it's been checked because it'll be 1 hour exactly. So it's the same thing. Let's throw in yesterday's just as an example. And then you delete it. And it comes on at 18. Well, let's hit refresh. See, until I hit refresh, it didn't say 17. Comes on at 17. As long as this is within 3 seconds, you're okay. 0 is ideal, but anything under 3 is really not worth messing with it, because look at here later on in the day it resyncs up to the exact second, but it comes on for 1 hour. Okay, well that's the wrong one. We want to post today's, so I'll take today's show, put it in there and delete it, then hit refresh again. Okay. So what I do before leaving here is I look for any red lines and I make sure the satellite is coming on at the right time. And it is. It's with 1 second. If, for example, it wasn't, you can schedule a short spot to get it perfectly synchronized. And you shouldn't have to do this. I'm just showing you real quick. Like if I hit 05, that's 05, sorry. I have to hit 05. It's showing you some short spots, like 4 to 7 seconds. So if I was 4 seconds shy somewhere, I could drag one of these short spots up to resync the clock. All right, let's go back to, now 700 Club is here. You'll see it up there on the top. Now those are the same exact show, it's just a different flavor of it. See where it says 1080? So I'm going to use that as an example of how to set 700 Club. You don't have to do this with Newswatch because it's already set. It's already 2830. But let's take a look at 700 Club. If we put 700 Club in there and we're going to look at the version I just downloaded, you notice it's 1 hour and 2 minutes, which is wrong because it has 2 minutes of color bars. So we want to fast forward. And you could sit here and just hit play like this and wait. Or you can drag it like this. But generally the easiest way to do it is to hit fast forward, but I didn't want to wait that long. So as long as this counter here is turning, you know you're going forward. So if I hit pause, That counter's not turning. If I hit play, that's time code now from the beginning. So I'm looking for the start, and when it starts, I set my endpoint here. Boom.
The following
Pause that. Now, it's 2 minutes in, which is almost every 700 club is the same. If I want to check it, I hit go. 700 club starts in black, so that's fine.
The following program is sponsored by...
And I'll hit go again. If I didn't have it, if I was not in the right spot, let's say I was a little bit into the show, this one here goes back 1 frame. This one goes back like 1 second. So you can tweak it there a little bit to find the opening. But as you saw, I just counted in my head where the 1 second is and was able to hit it without doing any searching. Now, the quick way to do this is I know every 700 club has been checked, and I know they're exactly 1 hour. So I go into the duration, and I hit all zeros and hit enter. And you'll notice it automatically reset my out point to the correct position. It's taking 2 minutes out there. But if I want to check it, I can hit go and see it's a little bit off. So we'll see what's happening here. Okay, it's going to the next spot, which we don't want. So I hit go again, and I just back up a little. If it'll let me, but it may not let me on this 1080, so I can ride it out too.
Alone. God loves you, and so do we. Please send us your prayer requests, big or small, so we can pray for you. Call us now or mail your prayer request
where
today.
it was at, by the way. So let's see where I'm at. It would have been fine where it was at. Okay, you see what's happening here? It would have worked. Like I said there, I found it. I'm hitting play pause, so I hit set. See, it's basically only 2 frames difference, all that work I did there. It would have worked as long as the duration is 1. I'm not going to change it now. But when you're done, see, it starts in black, ends in black. Then I hit this check mark, and now I'm done. Until I hit that check mark, I'm not done. So if I was going to schedule what I just did, which I'm not, but I'm just going to simulate it, I would find out where the time I'm talking about, which is 1700. And here's the show that I just fixed. If you'll notice, the duration of fixed shows show correct. The duration of unfixed shows, these are evergreens, would need to be edited before they're used, see, because they're showing 1 hour and 2 minutes. Well, anyways, like I say, you can ignore up to 2-3 seconds. This is basically fixed. So I would go ahead and drag that up there and see the difference. Only difference is the resolution. And then I would hit delete and hit refresh, and then we would be set. But I don't want to do that. I want to go back to this 720. That's one I use. And then I hit refresh. So 700 club comes on at 1700 for 1 hour, and then these are the other shows that come on in that evening. And then I always check the satellites to make sure they're reasonably close. 1830 and 2230. And they're coming on by the amount of spots that are inserted between these shows at those times. So that's it. And you can just leave this open